Okay, here we are in the garage. These are not always shot. Sometimes we skip these. In fact, oftentimes we seem to, because they're, full of stuff with people moving. But in this case, we have an empty one. It is a 3-car garage. So instances like this, I would probably shoot it. So I'll show you what we got going on here. Okay, so +1 is actually looking a little hot. And that happens when you have not really a whole lot of windows going on and just kind of a normal white color palette with the paint. So in this case, you can actually just kind of lower it a little bit. And like I said, you have a lot of flexibility in post, so this isn't a huge deal. But I would say better to go under than over in these situations. So a 2/3 is fine. And then if I come over to this, 160 is crazy dark. So let me up this here. Wow. Okay, yeah. So even at 40 and 50, we're like pitch black. So I will go with 40, 1/40th of a second here, and we'll run with this. Okay, so in situations like this, I find that even adjusting the shutter speed accordingly, you sometimes have to go pretty hard on the flash power. And you also will have to go into the actual garage and light it up on its own. So I'm gonna start at 1/2 here and see what we get. Okay, so that's not terrible. That's not terrible. Let's see what a full power 1:1 gives us. Also not bad. We're definitely blowing out stuff closer to the camera, which is not what we want. So let's go, I'm gonna go to 1/2 + 3. And that's good enough. And then I'm gonna go into the room and actually light it up here. So the way I'm gonna light it is I'm gonna light the single car side, left, right, and then I'll probably maybe up the power and light the 2-car side, left and right. So I'll show you what that looks like here. Okay, there I am on the left side. Let's go back over to the right. I'm shooting this at 1/2 + 0.3 like everything else. Okay, I'm doing 1/2 0.7 for the bigger side here, since it's a larger space to light. Okay, there we go. Now, these still look a bit dark, but much like with the ambient layer, we can actually adjust it in post. And I've often, especially when I light up smaller rooms, I don't like to overblow the details by blasting that small room with light. And so I will actually boost those by 1, sometimes 1.5 stops of exposure when I blend them into larger photos. And in this case, I'll probably have to up these as well. So let's go into the editing and see how that's done. All right, everyone, welcome to the editing portion for the garage here, video number 6. This is a very straightforward one. This shouldn't be hard. Given all the things that you've learned so far, this should be really easy. So I'm just gonna kind of breeze through it. We don't have any window pulls to do. We don't have any like objects to remove or anything like that. So, you know what? We're going to remove that pin, that one right there. It's gone. It's going to meet its maker. A guy named Steve in Milwaukee who makes metal. Anyway, this is the first shot that we did. Look at the histogram. Terrible. 1/40th of a second too. Garages are crazy dark usually. They typically don't have a ton of windows. So I upped it, and now we're closer to the middle. And then I really blasted it, and we're definitely to the right of the histogram there, but we still have plenty of dark. It's really bright here, really dark back here, and that's why we're getting this. So I ended up going with this, I believe. And so let's go ahead and select all these. We'll hit our import preset here and see what like fixing the highlights did. That's not bad. That's not bad. You can definitely still see detail there, and I think the ambient will take care of it just fine. So yeah, the ambient is looking okay. Just to the right of center. I'm honestly going to leave it be and see what we get out of it. So let's pick that. We come over to our flash pop that we're actually going to use, and I'm going to select that and all the other ones here, and we'll get a white balance going. I'm going to get one where I'm closer to the door, closer to the garage door, and maybe pick off the white label. So we're at 4150/23, 4800/25. That definitely warms it up. 43, 50, 20. That's probably closer, I think. Yeah, I think that's probably closer. We'll go with 4320 on this one. Okay, so there's that. Now this is our left and right for the single car side. Looking over here and then looking over here, these can definitely use a boost of maybe like 0.3 or 0.4. And then looking here, left side, right side, and then left side. And this primary shot only really goes like up to here, like halfway through the floor. So looking at these, maybe a 0.3 will be sufficient. Although this area back here needs lit, so maybe a 0.5. Yeah, we'll go with that. We'll go with that. Okay, so all of these need picked here, as well as our ambient. They've all had the preset applied to it, so let's go ahead and bring them into Photoshop. Okay, here we have the layers in Photoshop. Now, in all honesty, some of you might be thinking, like, isn't it a bit extreme to shoot a garage with Flambient when you could just take some brackets? There's very minimal ambient in here, and like, if you don't have any windows, like, who cares, right? And I think there's a case to be made for that. Like, I have my video about with a fast HDR action using luminosity masking. You could, you know, regardless of the window here, merge this with 3 brackets pretty easily, and the colors will look fine. That is true, but I want to show you guys these principles so that you can use them to still create, honestly, very nice looking garages. Like, this creates a very welcoming, pleasant garage. So I think it's worth checking out. So let's go ahead and blend these. G for gradient. Let's click and drag, hold shift till I'm over here, bring it back. Find the good mix, seems to be probably right there. Okay, control, click that, control E, hide it. We go down to this one, do the same thing. Bring it over here, bring it back. Okay, where do we want this to be? Maybe right there is probably fine. Okay, so now let's bring these in and actually light up these back areas. So we'll go this one, the one car side screen, opacity down, push it up. Might need some extra oomph here. I'm thinking 75 is probably fine. Now we paint in what we want. As you can see, once you have this process dialed in, you can just do this stuff kind of automatically without thinking. And that's part of the reason why I've been so eager to get more RAM and a better graphics card, because the main bottleneck in my editing is file handling. It's opening images in Photoshop as layers. It's trying to quickly navigate Lightroom and use, you know, apply presets to raw files, and my computer's just like, ugh! I'm like, shut up and do the work. So yeah, that's how I treat my stuff, basically. Let's push this up. Again, about 75 looks good. Bigger brush. Loosely go over this. We have a bit of, you know, glare and reflection on the metal here on the garage door, but I'm not super concerned about that. It's just a garage door. So yeah, this lit up the garage quite nicely. It looks nice and bright now. So let's go ahead and turn that on. Basic Flambient blend. Click. Done. How much of this do we want? Maybe about 50%, I think, looks nice. Maybe a bit more. Let's go with 62%. Okay. Flatten, save, close. Back in here, post blend bump. And look at that. Look at that. I'm going to do the thing again where we go 35 on whites. Let's go 20 on contrast. And we'll just lower the exposure a bit. So, yeah, I don't know. It just, like I said, there's something about adding extra. Also, you can see with shooting at 1/40th of a second, these are actually quite bright compared to our last video where we were doing the hallway, or the 2 videos ago with the hallway bathroom. and the bulbs were giving off basically no color. So that's something to consider when you're shooting stuff like this. Yeah, there's a bit of like ugly yellowness, but that's honestly probably just there on the property. We can probably mitigate it a bit by doing yet again like a -10, -10. That just kind of takes out some of the uglier colors a bit. Constrained crop, distortion 5, vertical. By the way, I'm not suggesting everybody apply distortion to their images. Look to see if yours needs it, is what I would say. If you're not happy, like when you do verticals and even do the guided method of applying your verticals and they still look warped, consider adding some distortion to your image to fix it and straighten it out a bit. But there it is, very simple garage. These are super easy to shoot as well because you're not futzing with windows usually, and if you are, just shoot a window pull, easy peasy. So there's the garage. We don't have many left. We have laundry room and the primary bathroom left to go. So I'll see you guys in the next video.